Good morning, class, and welcome to IDS 410, Problem Solving for Social Change. I'm Kyle Shore, and I am going to be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. I thought we wanted to start off on the right foot and give you as much information about this course and some of the behind-the-scenes insider info that's going to be helpful to make you successful over the next 8 weeks. So, if you haven't had a chance, please be sure to check out my instructor post that I shared a few weeks ago. It'll give you a little bit more detail about me and my life, but quick recap. My wife and I, originally from Indianapolis, we hit the road back in September 8th of 2020, so about 5 years from the day you're watching this. And we are living in our RV full time, and we are currently in the Umalinta National Forest in Eastern Oregon. And right there is our home that we've been staying in now for 5 consecutive years. And we love this lifestyle, and I hope to share a little bit more of it with you guys over the rest of this semester. But I want to kind of get to the nitty-gritty, excuse me, of what you need to know about this course. Number one, this is a mixture of short papers, peer workshops, and a final project. The final project, as in most of these courses, will be due in week 7. There is a few class discussions that are outside of the peer work group, so make sure you're checking each week to find out what is due on that particular day. I've got my notes here, so I'm going to kind of go through some of those with you guys and share kind of how I see the next 8 weeks going. Number one, we all can sit back and point out what's wrong with one thing or another, whether that be what's wrong with the way this city handles this homeless situation, whether it has to do with feeding the poor, whether it has to do with adequate housing, jobs, etc. It's very easy to point fingers, even in our personal lives, at our spouse, our beloved ones, perhaps our favorite football or baseball team, those types of things. This course is going to have you take a slightly different look at some of those things that you see wrong with society. And let me stress first and foremost, this course is designed to be a very narrow focus. We don't want, there's bees and everything out here, folks. We don't want a broad, I'm going to cure world peace, for example. World peace is not going to be an approved topic for this semester. So we want you to focus on things that you have some control over locally, ideally. So it's really divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is the investigation section of the course. Part 2 is the intervention section. And Part 3 is advocacy. How can I take a small step today to address this issue? One thing you're going to see, and this is very, very, very important, so please pay close attention to this. Unlike some of the courses you've taken before, I'm trying to make this as concise and fluid as possible. And in doing that, what I have done is I have created templates for each of the assignments that you have due. I am going to provide those templates to you every Monday. If you're a student who doesn't check your SNHU email very often, you're going to have a very, very hard time in this course. I am creating extensive announcements that are going to be posted here on Brightspace, but I am also going to be sending out a Monday email detailing the things you need to know about this week's assignments. I'm going to provide that template for you to use in that week's assignment. I don't want you to recreate the wheel. I don't want to have to go through as I'm reading something and trying to figure out, what part of the critical elements are they responding to? This way, it's very clear, hey, I'm addressing this issue, I'm addressing this issue, and I'm addressing this issue. Why? Because number one, it makes it easier on you and on me when I'm grading it. It also ensures that you have covered all the topics that are necessary for that week, and you don't just kind of forget one by accident. So in the template, make sure you go through. I have indicated the writing prompts / instructions, but those need to get removed. And it's very clear, I've highlighted the items that need to get removed. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the Word document and it to have section headers. It doesn't need to have the instructions, take those out, but I leave them in there so that it's easier for you to write your assignment. So every Monday, I want you to be checking your email at least, weekly, if not more often, and checking the announcements. The announcements, I do my best to try to summarize some important concepts for you that are going to be focused on in that week. Again, this is 8 weeks for most of you, or many of you. You are already seniors. You should know at this point how to write term papers. You should know how to format an APA format, which is required. You know how to do research. You know the types of resources that we want you to use in a 400 level course. Using the USA Today as a reliable resource is not an option. Google searching something that you find on Reddit, not going to happen. Use the Shapiro Library. Use the professional resources, journal articles primarily when researching your topic. And again, I'm always here to help. Be sure to reach out to me if you ever have any questions. Make sure you're checking the deadlines for each of the items. And in week 3, when we start the workshop, the group workshops, I am going to assign you based on some rationale that I have on my own, and I'll share more with you about that in week 3 when that starts. But a lot of these group discussions are going to be with people with similar ideas or somewhat similar topics as yourself, because sometimes the best feedback is from a peer, not from the professor. And sometimes the professor's feedback, it's too late. You've already submitted the assignment, and I'm not going to let you redo it. So you might as well try to utilize the peer group discussions every week that they're available. So week 1, we're going to have a case study. Week 2, we've got 2 papers. We've got the proposal and the reflection. In week 3, we've got a short paper on opportunities. Week 4, we've got the short paper on previous attempts to address this particular issue that you've chosen. And again, there is a kind of a cheat sheet of ideas that you can use from the material if you're reading through it every week. You should have no problem identifying a good topic, and we'll talk more about that in our group discussion here in week 1. And then in week 7 is going to be the final project submission. So if you have questions, please reach out. I'm going to be sharing some of these fun adventures that I have over the next 8 weeks with all of you. As I said, we're currently in Umalinta National Forest in eastern Oregon, but we're heading to Utah, Idaho, Colorado, and then into Texas. Yeah, so by the time the semester is over, you will have seen some posts and some weekly emails from like 5 or 6 different states. So I love this lifestyle. I hope to share a little bit of it with you. And if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks, and good luck, everyone.